92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today says the girl that he met and the girl that he wants to call bonded over an instrument. Probably the sexiest instrument known to man. The banjo.
Oh.
That's right.
Hey.
He says that's how he struck up a conversation with the girl that he wants to call today. I guess they are big fans of the banjo.
And when you said sexy, I was immediately thinking bagpipes. So
Really?
thank you for clarifying for me.
Those are probably the top two sexy instruments. But this time it involves banjos. So, Sean, how does one bond over a banjo? What happened?
I was at a show with a band. They had a banjo player, and I was really digging the guy. And at one point, I said out loud, "Oh my God, this guy's so good!" And there was a girl next to me. I wasn't there with her. I hadn't talked to her, but she heard me, and she just turned to me and said, "Oh my God, yeah, I love this guy."
Yeah.
And then that's how it happened.
And who doesn't
Yeah.
think a good banjo player is impressive?
I mean, it is always
It is always impressive, yeah, but never like, man, this banjo's making me horny. Anybody else? Over here, sir. It's making me feel it too. Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, she got all hot and bothered.
I bet.
No.
So tell us more about the evening. What was her name?
Juliana.
Juliana. All right.
So we ended up talking a little bit. Of course, you can't really talk too much during the show. And I was there with some friends. She was there with some friends of hers, but we both just kind of ditched them.
Nice.
All right.
That's pretty good. That's a good
And
sign.
Ballsy on her part to just ditch her friends and go with random banjo lover.
Well, you know, how often do you find a fellow banjo lover?
Yeah.
So afterwards, we ended up going to a bar nearby.
Cool.
And how was that?
It was great. You know, we hung out, had a drink. We were just talking and chatting and laughing a lot. And in fact, we were both surprised when after, I don't know, a little while, 20 minutes or so, the bartender actually asked how long we had been dating.
Oh, so your chemistry was that good that it seemed like you guys were a thing.
Yeah. So we laughed and were like, well, I guess if this counts as a date, we've been dating for about an hour now.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Did she like that answer? Did she seem okay with it being called a date?
She was cool with it. You know, it was kind of awkward for both of us. But since it wasn't either of us that caused the awkwardness, we both just kind of laughed it off. And yeah, she seemed fine with it.
And this was your actual date, right? You didn't go out with her.
No, we just met and kind of decided to hang out for a minute.
Okay. And how long was your guys' hangout that night?
Well, we were there for maybe half an hour or so, and then I did something stupid. I spilled my drink on myself, you know, as we're laughing and talking and having a good time.
Okay.
It's okay. We all have spasms like that when we laugh. So was the date over then when you dumped your drink on yourself?
No, because she mentioned that she lived close by there. And I said, you know, I really wanted to hang out with her more, but not like covered in this sticky alcohol. I said, look, I don't want to be forward. I'm not trying anything, but would you mind if we went back to your place and I could kind of clean myself up a little bit?
Oh my God. How big of a drink were you drinking?
That's a whole picture.
I mean, I've spilled a lot of drinks on myself and just been fine with it.
Well, it was red wine. You know, you don't want to let it sit for too long.
Okay.
So was your idea to go back to her place and then take your shirt off?
Yeah, exactly.
And sit there and talk to her without a shirt on?
Or maybe borrow one of her frocks.
I was thinking just like go and, you know, wash it off in the sink and then put it back on again and let it be damp. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think it through that far, all right?
You were totally just using it as an excuse to go back to her place.
That would have been nice. I wasn't, though. I really did want to sit there in a wine-stained shirt.
Did you guys go back to her place or was she like, nah, that's good. We'll go out a different time?
No, she was fine with it. So we did. We went back to her place, and, you know, I cleaned myself up as best I could. And she said, hey, do you want another drink? So we ended up hanging out at her place and having a couple drinks.
And then, oops, I spilled one on my pants now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Didn't see that one coming.
See, now I wish I had had that level of forethought and tried that, but I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. So you guys just hung out and talked for a while?
Yeah, and I'd had enough to drink by that point. I didn't really feel comfortable driving home. So I ended up crashing on her couch.
Okay.
But she was in her bed. I was in the couch. No funny business. Everything was cool. But we'd had a really good time.
So what was it like in the morning? Did she wake you up?
Well, I woke up before she did, and I didn't want to wake her up. I wanted to let her sleep, you know, as long as I could. So I left, thinking that was the considerate thing to do.
Was there a note left behind or anything?
Yeah, I left her a little note, said, hey, didn't want to wake you, had a great time, hope we can hang out again. And I haven't heard back from her since then.
Okay, so what do you think might have gone wrong?
Either she just wasn't having as good a time as I thought she was, or maybe she thought it was rude or something that I left without saying goodbye, even though I was trying to be, as considerate as I could. So I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, we'll figure it out for you. We'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Right in the middle of a second date update, and if you're just tuning in, Sean, who's on the phone to do a second date update today, just gave every dude listening a great idea on how to get back to a lady's house. Just spill drinks on yourself nonstop. Because that's what he did on his date. He met a girl at a show, they bonded over the banjo player, and then they went to a bar after and were having some drinks, and he spilled his drink on himself. And then he was like, oh man, now I need to take my shirt off and clean it. Can we go back to your place? And she said yes. So apparently it's a tactic that works. Sean, I still think you did that on purpose.
I wish I had, and from now on I will, if this works anyway.
Do you think, if a guy said that to me, I would obviously think he wanted to get it on at my house and was using it as an excuse. Maybe she was disappointed that you didn't try anything.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I was too tipsy to pick up on that by that point. I didn't think I was. Who knows?
Sean actually spent the night at her house and then left her a note saying that he had a good time and then tried to get a hold of her after, but hasn't heard anything from her. I'm going to dial her phone number right now and see if we can get her on the phone and find out why. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Juliana, please?
Yeah, this is she.
Hey, Juliana, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Who's this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning?
I'm sorry. What is this?
It's a radio show.
Is this a scam? Are you trying to sell me something? I'm going to hang up.
No, I'm not trying to sell
It'd
you
be
anything at all.
awesome if we were.
One of our listeners actually emailed us about you.
Okay.
His name is Sean, and he's a guy that you sort of went on a date with recently.
Oh.
That went down.
Right.
Whoa.
So you remember hanging out with Sean.
Yeah, I remember him.
It doesn't sound like you fondly remember him.
You could say that.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
He has great memories of you.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he emailed us. Sean wants to know why you're not calling him back.
I think he's a sketchball. Is that a good enough reason?
What?
Really?
No.
I mean, we talked to him. I thought he was dorky at worst, but a nice guy.
So he called you? What did he say?
Well, I don't want to tell you because you sound mad.
It wasn't anything
No,
bad.
I want to know. I want to know. What did he say?
Well, he said that he met you at some show and you guys were bonding over the great banjo player that they had. And then you went to then you went to a bar after.
Whoa.
And he spilled a drink on himself and asked if he could go back to your place to kind of clean his shirt up or something.
Which we all said had to be an excuse to just get over to your place, but he swore up and down it wasn't.
So I guess he didn't mention to you that he's a thief.
What?
Whoa. A
No.
Yeah, he's a kleptomaniac.
He didn't
What did
drop that.
Yeah, he didn't tell us that he likes to steal things.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the next morning, I was in my room. He was on the couch. I heard some rustling in the hallway, and it was 5 a.m. or something. And then I heard a door close. So I called out. I was like, Sean, hello? No answer. So I got up, walked out into the hallway. I looked around. I checked the couch. He wasn't there. He was gone. But I saw that the closet door in my hallway was open, where I keep my coats and stuff.
Okay.
And he had put his coat there.
Uh-huh.
So I went over to close it, and his coat was gone. That makes sense, I guess, if he was gone. But then all of my hangers were gone, too.
What? All of your...
Yeah, all of my empty hangers that were just hanging in my closet were gone.
What?
And they were there. They were there before he came. So, yeah, he's a thief.
Wait,
Oh.
you're accusing him of stealing coat hangers from your house?
I'm not assuming that happened. I know that happened. He did it.
You sound very angry about these hangers being taken.
Would you be angry if you invited someone back to your house after a really nice date and then found out that they stole things from you? Yeah, I think you'd be.
Yeah, but
I guess, but I don't know why hangers just doesn't hit me that hard.
me neither.
But see, he
It's
still
so
stole.
weird.
They're my things. I only just met. We hung out for a couple hours. And I invited him back to my place. What the man? Why would you take my hangers?
Yeah, it's a really valid question.
It makes no sense. It's weird and sketchy and dumb.
Yeah, it is.
You didn't notice anything else missing from your house. It was just the hangers.
You keep saying my hangers like it's not a big deal, but But he just took them. He didn't leave a note. He didn't say anything about it. He just took my hangers. That is weird, man.
Yeah, I guess it is weird. I don't know why you would take hangers. Don't you want to know why he
Take
would?
hangers?
Don't you know why he would want to steal your hangers?
It's such a
No, I don't care why he did it. I don't care how he tries to excuse himself. He's lucky I didn't call the police.
That would be a call.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get arrested for that.
Yeah.
Justifiable, though, right?
I probably, yeah, you probably could get him arrested. I'm kind of wondering why he would steal your hangers. So I think we should ask him, Juliana, because he's on the phone listening right now and wants to talk to you.
What? This is a setup?
I don't like that word. It's a dirty way to describe it, but yeah, kind
But
of.
it is.
Sean?
Hey, Juliana.
Wow. I didn't know you were on the phone, but since you are, what the hell were you thinking?
It's a great question.
Okay, this is a big misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah? What's the misunderstanding? You took my hangers and what? What's the misunderstanding?
Okay, yeah, I took some hangers. I'm sorry. Honestly,
Okay,
for
so
one
you
thing,
did take them. Oh my God, how was there a misunderstanding there?
That is so weird.
all right, Juliana, just calm down. Hear me out, okay? There's actually a really good reason why I took the hangers.
There is no good reason why you would take my hangers.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing the reason, too. I think everybody is.
And how many hangers are we talking about right now? Like 3 or 12?
It was probably around 15 or so, but okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
Here's the thing. I just moved into a new apartment. My hangers are all in a box somewhere. I don't know where. Everything I own is in boxes except for all my clothes that are in a pile on my kitchen table. So I was thinking, all right, I was getting my coat out of the closet, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, here's all these hangers. If I just grab a handful and take them with me, it'll make my life so much easier for the next few days. And then when I see her again, I'll bring them back because I'll have my life together a little bit more by that point. And I'll say, hey, you probably didn't even notice these were gone, but I borrowed some of your hangers. I hope that's cool. I was thinking you'd think it was charming and funny. Or
What? No, that is so weird. You thought that stealing my hangers would make me actually want to see you again? Or surprising me with the fact that you stole my things would be exciting and charming? That makes no sense.
Juliana, I didn't steal anything, okay? I just borrowed something with every intention of giving it back. I'll bring them back today if you want, and it's 15 plastic coat hangers that I didn't think you'd even notice were gone.
Borrowing is when you ask someone usually that you know, or you can't just meet someone and then take their things and think it's okay and that you'll bring it back. What if I didn't see you again?
Well, we'd had such a good time, I thought you were probably going to want to hang out again. And,
Gosh.
Well, that's really annoying, too, that you would just assume that. And so take my things, and that's your reasoning. That is so stupid.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of inconsiderate. I probably should have said something about that on the note I left you. So I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
Honestly, at this point, I don't even care. Just keep the hangers. Whatever.
Juliana, I mean,
Come on.
do you think your anchor's maybe a little bit out of control on this one?
No, you don't go on a first date with someone. We just met that night. You don't. What, is that going to win someone over by taking their things?
He just said,
what does that mean for future things? Is every time he comes over, if we hang out again, he's going to take something else?
Yeah, that's true. Like all of a sudden your silverware is missing. Just a couple forks, though.
Forks?
I moved.
Yeah, not gonna lie, but that's indicative of kleptomaniac tendencies. What the hell? I don't want to be around someone like that.
Okay, I think we're getting carried away here.
Juliana, you think you're maybe blowing this a little bit out of proportion for 15 plastic coat hangers? I mean,
No, I'm not blowing anything out of proportion. They're my things.
Okay.
Hey, Juliana, you're clearly fired up about this, and I think you two should get together and talk outside of this phone call. Would you like to go on a second date with?
so.
No, would you like to go on a second date with Sean? We'll pay for it.
I don't care how fast you say it. I'm not doing it.
What if I say it this fast? Would you go on a second date with him? What if it's that fast?
Oh, stop.
Come on, give him a chance. He's dumb with social graces, maybe, but he doesn't sound like a bad person.
Well, dumb with social graces is not that attractive. I don't know. This is weird.
look, whether you want to hang out again or not, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you what. I'll come back to your place tonight. I'll bring back your hangers, and I'll bring you a new set of new hangers.
Oh, no, you don't.
Did you hear that, though? He said he'd bring a brand new set.
Oh, that's an
Juliana.
upgrade. You're right, Jubal.
I swear to God, if you come over tonight with those hangers, I'm going to shove them inside you.
Oh,
Okay.
that was
That-
aggressive.
You never know. That could be even more incentive for him to come over.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 says, that Julia woman from the second date update, only 2 words come to mind. Whack job.
Yeah, very high pitched, man. When she gets mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except
I kind of agree with her, though. I don't think she's that much of a whack job, really.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, just because it's hangers doesn't mean it's not weird that
Yeah.
he took something.
Yeah, but
You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about today's second date update. This dude named Sean wanted to call Juliana. That's her name. And she wasn't calling him back because he stole hangers from her.
It's just
I know
the
it sounds
point of
weird.
it.
Yeah, he woke up in the morning, took some hangers, and she was really mad about it. Now, she did kind of freak out a little too much. Maybe kind of be like, why would you take my hangers, instead of calling him like a thief and yelling at him a bunch.
Yeah.
But she agreed to never go out with him again. She doesn't ever want to see him again because he's a kleptomaniac and a thief.
I'm so unorganized, I wouldn't even know if he stole a bunch of my hangers.
Yeah, I'd have
sad.
no idea.
I know. I'm like, I'll take them.
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do... excuse me, man.
How you doing over there? A little
Excuse
phlegmy?
me. There you go, man. All you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back. There are a lot of big events that will happen in your life: your birth, your death, and maybe a few other things in between. Not sure. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. But one of the major life events that always seems to get a lot of hype is prom night.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Big deal.
For a high school senior, it's supposed to be the night that everything is supposed to happen. You finally score a date with the person you've had a crush on for the last 4 years of school. The awkward, dorky girl miraculously wins prom queen.
Yay!
And after that, you lose your virginity in a field underneath the stars, and you were totally awesome at it.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's just a movie I saw, because in reality, most people don't end up having the perfect prom. In fact, for many of us, prom is the one night that you'd rather forget. And that's why recently a survey asked thousands of people around the country for their most embarrassing prom night stories. These are some of the best responses. Number 7 says, "We had a karaoke contest at my senior prom. Everybody convinced me to sing, which was fine because I'm not a terrible singer.
Yeah.
But I do have really bad stage fright. And when I went on stage and opened my mouth, I immediately projectile vomited everywhere. And it got all over my principal and her husband, who were standing at the front of the stage." Which is actually kind of amazing. You puked on your principal and her husband. That is an awesome story, I
Oh,
think.
that's so horrible. I would be mortified. And you can't even blame it on, like, I was a cool kid and I was at a party. Nope, just trying to sing some karaoke.
Just a little nervous. Number 6 says, "My friends and I wanted to rent a party bus to ride to in prom, and we found a really great deal for one online. Only $50 to rent it for the whole night.
Yep.
That's pretty cheap for a party bus."
Too good to be true, kids.
Yep, it says, "It turns out it was a scam because the car pulled up. It wasn't a party bus. It was an old rundown ice cream truck with folding chairs in the back. But we didn't have a plan B, so we still ended up riding in it to the dance anyway."
I kind of actually like that better.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind
That's a
of
better story to
amazing.
tell.
too bad. I hope there's some ice cream left over. in there.
Yeah. Especially if you could turn on the music when you show up to prom.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Number 5 says, "I went to prom with my boyfriend of 9 months. The dance was really fun, and afterwards, he drove me home, and we pulled up to my house. I told him for the very first time that I loved him,
Aww.
and he responded by saying, 'Aw, I wish I felt the same.'"
Oh!
Ouch.
Man!
Oh.
And then it says, "And then he got mad at me because I wouldn't make out with him after that."
Yeah!
Why are you upset? I don't get it.
Get over here.
I spent so
Yeah.
much money on that corsage.
This is from a nationwide survey asking people about their worst prom stories ever. Number 4 says, "My prom date and I were part of a big group who all went to prom together. Before the dance, we decided to get dinner at a nice steakhouse. At some point during the meal, my goofy friend lays the ketchup bottle down on the table and says, 'Hey, let's play spin the bottle.'
Okay.
And he gave it a hard spin. Unfortunately, he didn't close the bottle properly,
Oh, no.
and the lid flew off and sent the ketchup splattering in 360 degrees of disaster. Our clothes were all covered in ketchup stains,
Oh, no.
and the girls were so upset that they decided to go home and skip out on prom completely.
Oh my God.
And it's like the one time ketchup comes out of a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't come out when you're actually trying to put it on food.
No.
In those old bottles. Number 3 says, "Back in high school, I was dating a girl I met at summer camp, and we went to different schools in different parts of the country. But for prom, she still wanted me to be her date. So I Skyped into her prom night the whole evening. Her friends passed around a laptop with my grainy face on it while I sat home in a tuxedo on my computer trying to convince myself that this was fun.
Oh my God.
the
That's
effort.
when your parents are like, all right, that's a little weird, buddy.
Yeah. Number 2 of these worst prom stories ever says my date and I were slowly dancing at prom, and I guess he got a little bit overexcited during the dance. And by the end of the song, something happened.
Oh no.
And when we separated, my dress was all messed up. I had to leave immediately.
No.
Wait, that something happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay,
my
that one's
gosh.
worse than ketchup, guys.
Yeah.
And the number 1 worst prom night story is this one. It says, we were all sitting around the tables taking a break from dancing, and my friend told me that she had a secret to tell me. So I leaned over the table, and my hair fell into the candle.
No.
And with all the hairspray I had on, it instantly caught on fire.
Oh my God.
Oh.
My date quickly tried to put it out by throwing a glass of red punch on it,
Oh no.
and it went all over my white dress. I went home at 8:30 that night.
Oh my gosh.
So you set your
My
hair on
hair-
fire, and then your dress gets ruined.
Yeah, that is really bad.
Yep. You know who's probably had some terrible proms?
Ooh.
The people listening right now, our listeners. I'm
yeah.
sure they've had terrible proms.
I was going to say you since you've been to like 8 of them.
Yeah, I don't even remember most of them, but yeah, I have gone to, I think, let me count them up. One, junior, senior prom? 7 proms.
7 proms.
my
Gone to
Okay.
7
God.
proms in my
And
life.
wait, only 2 when you were in high school?
2 in high school.
Yeah, okay.
And
Okay.
2 with the girlfriend that I had that was still in high school that I went to the first 2 proms with.
Yeah.
And that's 4. And then
Please
a couple
tell-
others as like radio stunts.
Okay.
Okay.
And-
You're
You're like-
chaperone at all,
you
huh?
can-
Yeah, I'm a prom expert.
You are. You are definitely. We should collect all of your photos from prom.
Yeah, best one I went to was one of the radio things because I showed up and they're like, they heard about it and they're like, no, you can't come in, you're too old. And I was like, sweet, I don't have to go to another prom. Officially.
All right,
Text in at
peace.
78592, call us 866-668-4692. Tell us what your worst prom story is. It's apparently a lot of people had bad proms. It's Brooke and
Yeah.
Jubal in the morning.
Who knew?
I'm trying to read text messages at 78592 from people texting in their horrible prom stories, and they're coming in so quickly I can't even read one before like 50 more show up. And because it's prom season, we asked our listeners to share their worst prom disasters ever. Let's just go straight to the phones because obviously a lot of people have had really terrible prom experiences. Autumn, what was the worst prom experience you had?
Hi. So I got asked to a prom by a guy that I went to church with, and we were just friends. So I was like, yeah, or at least I thought we were just friends. But 10 minutes into the dance, he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Ugh,
And
awkward.
when I said, no, buddy, I think we're better as just friends, he threw his glass against the wall, and it shattered, and he spent the rest of the night just quietly crying in the corner of the ballroom, and he wouldn't speak to anyone.
Oh no.
Wow,
He
but
didn't
what a
leave. He just sat there in the corner
He wouldn't
crying.
leave either. He just stood there.
What a
Oh,
stable
man.
guy. I mean, I don't know why you didn't want to be his
Yeah.
boyfriend.
I know.
We're actually getting a lot of
Sad.
a lot of calls from people who say that they broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend at prom on the
Wow.
dance floor. I guess that's a pretty
Why?
common thing.
Yeah,
I don't
guys,
know. Why-
I mean, timing is everything when you're breaking up with somebody,
Yeah,
and that's the wrong time.
Wait till
maybe
after.
wait till day after.
There you,
you
go.
know?
Or
Or day before if you really don't like them.
Oh.
or maybe like a couple months before or something.
Hey, Jason, what is the worst prom disaster you've ever had?
Oh man! Well, for my prom, I decided to break dance on the dance floor, and then my back went out, and they basically called the paramedics. All the lights came on, the DJ stopped. Everyone was taking. Yeah, everyone was taking pictures. It was the most embarrassing moment of my life.
That
I ended
sounds
up
like
in the
what would
hospital.
happen like at senior prom for like actual seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Did your
you
prom
get
date
any?
go with you?
No, nobody came.
Oh,
My-
dog.
Did you
my
at least
parents-
get any
my parents
sweet
picked me
moves
up.
out on the dance floor before you had to go?
Nope. I went straight into a backspin, and my back went out.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All right.
Got a text in at 78592 says, after prom, we got back to my girlfriend's house and we walked in and her parents were having sex in the living room. That ruined our night.
No.
Hey, at least somebody got lucky on prom night, okay?
Yeah. They're like, yeah, the kid's gone for a few hours.
Yeah.
Prom ended early.
Dude, that is
Hey.
one way to keep your kids honest on prom night.
Ashley,
what is the worst prom disaster you've ever had?
Oh God, I wish I had other people's problems. Okay, so I went on a date. Okay, so my date picks me up and he gives me a corsage. It's really pretty. His mother made it from her garden.
Wow.
Okay, so that's kind of weird, but I thought, well, how sweet. Anyway, puts it on me. We go to the dance. We're dancing, and I see a giant spider come out of the flowers. And before I have time to do anything, it bit me on the wrist.
Shut up.
My wrist was so swollen. I had to go to the ER.
Shut up.
For a spider bite?
From the corsage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a giant spider. I don't even know what kind. It was a giant, like, black widow kind of spider.
There's a lot of hospital visits during prom. Did your date go with you?
Yes.
Oh, see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I made him go.
Like,
I made him go.
This is all your fault.
take the corsage off your wrist and go like, I can find another date. It's cool. You go ahead and go to the emergency room, get that handled. I'll just go to prom. I'll let you know how it goes. Hey, Susan, what's your biggest prom disaster?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, so my prom, my date ditched me to go to a party with the cool kids where they were drinking. Apparently, I wasn't invited because I was like a super nerd. I don't even know how I got this guy to go to the prom with me in the first place. But anyway, he dissed me, and it gets worse. I went home and told my mother, and she was so livid that she drove over to the party just to ream him out.
Oh my God, I love your mother,
awesome.
though. I mean, that would be humiliating.
I didn't appreciate that at all. I think I was more upset with her than him because I was embarrassed that people talked about me for weeks and weeks.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
But I get it, too.
If I only had a drink, if I had just taken a drink.
No, I'm glad you didn't. You're a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Keep texting in 78592. Call us 866-668-4692. We're looking for your very best prom disaster stories. We'll take more phone calls and text messages next. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. Text in at 78592 says, my date took me to Hooters before the prom. Then he flirted with the busty waitress the whole time and then asked her to come to prom with us since her shift was almost over.
Oh,
God, Hooters
no.
waitstaff must hate high schoolers.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
But that could have ended up being a great prom if she would have gone. You never know. You could have had a really good time.
Yeah.
We're asking people their worst prom disasters stories ever. How about you guys? Did you have good proms or bad proms?
I'd say my junior prom was kind of sad because I didn't have anyone to ask, so I took a younger classman.
Oh, really?
Who looked like he was maybe 12. He was really sweet, but no one wanted to hang out with us. Like, we tried to go to the parties, and then it was awkward when we enter the room because they're like, dude, that kid's like a sophomore or freshman,
Yeah.
Brooke. You need to get out of here. I'm like, okay.
I thought I was really cool. I went to prom with also an underclassman, but she was a junior, but she was like the hottest girl in school. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to like make out with her. I'm going to score. And like halfway through the dance, she left with some other dude. And
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's like, this is my moment. And it never happened.
We got a tweet that says my dad DJ'd my senior prom. The entire night he would do shout outs to me and my date if we were dancing too close. It'd be so humiliating. And then there's another one called my worst prom was my junior prom. Realized my boyfriend at the time was not into girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would make an interesting night. Oh, man, we're getting so many funny texts in. My prom date told me he had a Tesla. Turns out he didn't even have a driver's license, so his mom picked us up in a van.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, it's like the ice cream truck story. Where they had to take an ice cream truck instead of actually a party bus, which to me, an ice cream truck is a party bus,
Dude,
so
that
that's
would
good
be-
with me.
Dude, can you imagine rolling up to prom with a bunch of Choco Tacos? Like, you would be the life of the party.
You really would.
Move at 92.5.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Not getting behind the wheel after drinking is the best choice. But if you're pulled over, the next best choice is to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Jubal phone tab.
Weekday mornings on the 20s.
Only on Moving 92.5.
Hello?
Hi there. My name is Ken Jobber, and I'm calling from Hotel Relations. I was looking for Christine Polsky.
Yeah, this is Christine.
Hey, Christine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Not too bad. Listen, I'm calling because I need to speak with you regarding a situation that has come up about your reservation to stay with us.
Okay.
So, I have down that you're staying at our hotel for 3 nights, Thursday through Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we had a special circumstance come up, so we'll need you to leave by Saturday morning. So sorry about that.
Wait, what? Why?
Well, I mean, really, it's kind of exciting. We had a last-minute celebrity make a request for your particular room, so we've got to honor it.
But I had that reservation first. You can't unreserve a reservation.
Well, I mean, for a normal person, we wouldn't, but when a celebrity comes a-knocking, you accommodate them, so we have to take one of those nights away from you, okay? Thank you.
No, I'm
Thank you.
sorry. Hey, wait. No. Are you serious? Can I speak to your supervisor?
Well, he's not in right now, but he's going to tell you the same thing I am.
Well, can you give me his number so I can call him when he is in? Because this is for my 5-year wedding anniversary. You can't just unreserve a reservation.
Well, that's kind of actually a cool story. You could tell everybody how for your 5-year wedding anniversary, you booked a room that Rebecca Black's going to stay in. Oops, I said it.
Who?
Rebecca Black.
Who's Rebecca Black?
Oh, that's funny.
What?
You're funny.
No, who is Rebecca Black? Who the is that? I've never heard of this person in my life.
You know, Rebecca Black, the one who sang that catchy Friday song from a few years ago on YouTube. Friday, gonna get down on Friday. You know that girl?
The YouTube girl? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. How exciting.
I thought you said it was a f***ing celebrity.
She is a celebrity. And all of us at the hotel can't wait to meet her. It's going to be awesome. I wonder if she's going to perform.
Are you f***ing kidding me? She's not talented at all.
How dare you say that about Rebecca Black? How dare you?
How dare you give her my room? She's f***ing horrible.
I'll have you know she's an American icon, and if you would have been cool about this situation, I was going to try to score you an autograph, but I don't know about that now.
Oh my God. A f***ing autograph?
Yeah.
That's f***ing worthless. I can't do anything with a f***ing autograph from a f***ing YouTube person that you think is talented. She should be paying me to take her autograph.
Wow. Okay, well, if you're going to show Rebecca Black that kind of disrespect, I don't want you even staying in this hotel, so I'm taking away all your rooms now.
You can't do that.
Well, it's done. So, guess you got to find somewhere else to stay, somewhere that doesn't have A-list celebrities staying in it.
Oh my God, she's not a f***ing A-list celebrity. Are you crazy? I'm not going to let Rebecca Black and some f***ing out of his mind idiot hotel staff ruin my anniversary. This is f***ing unacceptable.
Okay, well, what if a prank phone call ruins your anniversary? Then what?
What the f*** are you talking about?
I'm talking about that this is actually Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the morning doing a phone tap on you, and your husband David set you up.
What?
It's a joke. Your husband wanted to play a prank on you for your anniversary.
Oh my God. Are you f***ing kidding me?
No, I'm not. I know it's super exciting, but Rebecca Black is not stealing your hotel room.
Oh my God. When you started singing that song, I was like, what is wrong with this dude?
Friday,
Oh, God.
Friday. No?
Oh
Okay.
God, that song is so horrible. Please don't.
Wake up every morning with Jubal phone tabs. Weekday mornings on the 20s.
Only on Moving 92.5.
60 seconds away from your shock collar question of the day. It's Brook and Jubal in the morning. And you know, we always start off the show with some weird news or celebrity birthdays or one of our favorite segments, Where in the World is Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah, seriously, like, where is that guy?
Today,
alive
let's
for
start
real?
off with a poll that just came out. An entertainment website recently asked millennials, what are your favorite TV shows of all time? And the answers were not what anybody expected. So what are millennials' favorite TV shows of all time?
Okay.
Here's what they said. Number 5, Friends.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, even in replays still, like,
So
isn't
fun.
it like one of the most watched shows on
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever?
I don't know.
I'm like one of the only people I know that did not get it. I hated it.
Really?
Did not like
Hated
the
it.
show Friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
awesome.
It's a bunch of white people live in an apartment they can't afford in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Exactly.
think that's fine too.
Number 4 was America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh.
That's number 4. Isn't that just what YouTube is now?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Number 3 is Jeopardy.
Really? Huh.
That's
Number 2, The Simpsons. And the number one favorite show of all time for millennials is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, so
Really?
good, man.
Is it that
Yeah,
good?
and that
Oh,
show,
yeah.
I mean, I think
actually,
the theme
it
song.
went off the air in 1996.
Still,
Yeah, so that's not even, the millennials weren't even around when it was on, really.
it's still
think so. I think
syndicated. I watch it all the time still. It's awesome.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Uncle
there you go.
Phil.
Millennials' favorite radio segment?
Yep.
Probably something on NPR.
Yeah. Yeah. You're actually right.
The shot caller question of the day, maybe. And young Jeffrey has come in studio with a hat full of names to draw a name out of the hat to see who will put on the shock collar this morning. They're asked a trivia question. If they get it right, they don't get shocked. Jeff does because he asked a terrible question. If they get it wrong, they get shocked to the song that you want us to sing. Text in at 78592. What song do you want to hear from the person who gets shocked today? Jose is drawing a name out of the hat because he had the shot caller last. And who'd you get?
Oh, I got my own name. Dang it.
All right. While Jose's putting on the shot caller, Jeff, please read Jose the shot caller question of the day.
Recently, the U.S. Department of Labor reviewed the latest median salary data from around the country, and they identified the highest paying jobs in America right now. All of the positions that made the top 5 average over $110,000 a year, and they include chief executives, architectural engineers, doctors and surgeons, and lawyers. But what was the other job that made the top 5?
Oh, man.
Wow. I mean, it's not radio, people. Okay, so when you think of rich people and what rich people do, doctors, lawyers, I mean, all those things come to mind.
Of course, doctors and lawyers.
But what's something else? Like in neighborhoods you can't afford to live in, what are those people doing?
Well, this may be too extreme, and it's definitely not common, but I mean, athletes make a lot of money, but that's...
Yeah, but you got to think average.
At
Like
the average,
like
job, right?
maybe 1% of athletes make a lot of money.
That's true. Okay.
Because professional athletes also include female athletes, and they do not make a lot of money.
What are you talking about? Those ladies in the WNBA kill it. They make like 40 grand a year.
They should make more money, but whatever. My first thought for you, when I'm thinking big industry that makes tons of money, is something to do with tech.
Okay.
So like
well, you can think
coder, like, or IT person.
Oh, yeah. A coder, like
Or a
people
programmer.
that make apps, they make a lot. I was thinking engineer.
But they said architectural engineer.
Okay, I couldn't be an electrical engineer. or
It could
anything.
be a different engineer.
Read the question one more time.
Recently, the U.S. Department of Labor reviewed the latest median salary data from around the country, and they identified the highest paying jobs in America right now. In the top 5, it's chief executives, architectural engineers, doctors and surgeons, and lawyers. But what's the other job in the top 5?
Okay, so I'm thinking what is involved in lots of money at once, like sales and real estate, right?
Real
I mean,
estate's on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could sell a couple houses or even buildings, like corporate real estate people. They make tons of money.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say the average is over 110 grand.
Man.
What about like a Wall Street broker?
Oh,
Because Wall
those
Street
guys
is
make
also
bank.
on fire.
But it's not a very common job. Same thing.
Wedding DJs?
Oh, you meant teachers?
Yeah, teachers.
Maybe if you're Calvin Harris as a wedding DJ. You know, I can't.
I think a finance, like a stockbroker, is a pretty common job, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, isn't it only like they do make a lot of money? I think that's a good answer, actually. Probably more than real estate, because not all real estate agents are good at their job either.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go stockbroker.
According to the most recent data from the U.S. Department of Labor, these are the top 5 highest paying jobs in America right now on average. Number 5 is lawyers, making $110,000 a year. Number 4 is doctors and surgeons, who average $112,000. Number 2 is architectural engineers, who make $125 grand. Number 1's chief executives at $129,000. And number 3, the mystery one you've been trying to get, with an average salary of $120,000 a year, is pharmacists.
Oh,
yeah.
Especially from all that side work that's illegal.
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
do.
Taking all the money
All right.
from those big corporations.
You got it wrong, and somebody wanted to hear the Itsy Bitsy Spider, so you'll sing that before you get shocked.
I can do that.
Whenever you're ready.
The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came
Move at 92.5. Move at 92.5.
Hey, girl. What's up with you?
Wait a minute. Is this the right number?
It's the loser line.
Come on. Just call me back.
If you haven't heard the loser line before, it works like this. Let's say a guy approaches you while you're out at the club and uses this charming pickup line on you. Hey, what's up? Just so you know, if a fat man puts you in a bag tonight, don't worry about it. I told Santa I wanted you for Christmas. Step number 1, resist the urge to throw your cell phone at him. Step number 2, tell him that you think he's super cute. And maybe you can hang out sometime soon in private. And then give him the number to the loser line. So hopefully he leaves an awkward voicemail for us that we can play for you on the air. Voicemails like this one.
First unheard message.
Hey, this is calling. I was wondering if I could take you out this Saturday. If you're free, let me know. I'd like to choose the place. I have a gluten allergy, so I need to be specific about those things. But yeah, give me a call if you're available.
You could have just seen if she was available first instead of like, I'd need to make the choice because of a gluten, also vegan, and a lot of dietary restrictions. So I need to choose the place. Call me back.
Yeah, men or women, once you start bringing that stuff up, it's like so unattractive.
Yes,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
just so picky and But the thing is, why are people still not learning less is more in these messages?
Yeah. I always say it. Name, phone number.
Yep.
Call me back. That's really all you need. Here's another message from the loser line.
Next message.
Hey, we met the other night at and I just want to give you a call. You gave me your number, but before any relationship begins, I need to lay down some ground rules, if you will. I'm not looking for any of the married thing. Kids are out. You can call me. I'll leave a number.
Next message.
Well, at least you know what you get with the guy. No marriage and no kids. Although I think it's a little soon to talk about that when you haven't even been out on a date with the person.
I thought it was presumptuous to assume that she wanted a relationship. He's already down the 4 kids house. Here's your engagement ring.
It's like
thoughts.
pretty much we'll be hanging out, but be working towards nothing.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Remember, if you want the number to the loser line, all you have to do is text the word loser. It's spelled LOSER to 78592, and we'll send you that phone number you can give out to somebody who's hitting on you that you would rather not have hitting on you. So they call us and leave us voicemails like this one.
Next message.
Hi, this is, we met at the bookstore, and just had a really nice time. Thank you so much for your number. And, hey, I'd like to have, talk to you again. I actually like to see if you'd like to go to church with me this week. We got a great sermon, a guest sermon coming, and I thought you and I would have a nice time there and maybe grab some breakfast after. If that'd be great. Love for you to give me a call back.
Next message.
How did this guy have the nerve to ask somebody for their phone number?
It sounds like he does it all the time. He sounded very comfortable and confident.
It's probably less of an asking for a date thing and more of a witnessing thing. This young woman seems to be in trouble. I need to invite her to church. And then I save her and then also maybe start a beautiful relationship in the process. It's less of me getting up the nerve to ask somebody out and more of me just helping Jesus.
Isn't this the classic example of nice guys finishing last? It's like he got the loser line
He's
number.
at the bookstore. He got the loser line number. That's
Girls
the
always
sad part.
complain about dudes cheating on him. That guy would never cheat on you, ever. He might be a little clingy, but he would never cheat on you. Here's another message from the loser line.
Next message.
Hello, this is calling. Kind of had hoped maybe you would have given me a call back by now. It's been a couple days. I'm just sort of I've been at home a lot lately, and kind of waiting for you to call. So I'm going to be around. I've got a lot of resumes out there too for that job I've been hoping to get, and so just kind of here waiting for the phone to ring from. Really, you would be great. So give me a call when you have a chance. I'm just kind of here.
Next message.
Just kind of here, hanging out. He has a lot to offer.
If desperation was a person, that would be the person.
Don't overshare on the voicemail. That's the lesson that we've learned since we've been doing the loser line. Here's another message.
Next message.
Well, hi, this is. I can leave you my number, and if that was good, maybe I should call you back. Maybe tomorrow, if that'd be okay with you. Okay. It's so nice to talk to you. You were so nice to me. I really like you.
End of messages.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is such a creepy message.
Oh my gosh.
And he sounds like he's probably like the nicest guy ever, but just the way he comes across, he's super. I like you. So I want to smell you. Here's another message from the loser line.
Next message.
Hi, how are you? Listen, I think I was talking with a few people, and we think that you have really good look. You should call me back, and maybe we can figure out a time where you can just come to my apartment, and I can take you. Guess you could call them test photos.
Oh my!
And I'll see if you can get your pretty young face making some money.
Oh.
Yeah, call me back. Thanks.
End of message.
And the sad thing is,
God, that girl's smart enough.
the sad thing is that actually works.
No.
Yes, it does. Don't say no because it does. You check Instagram all the time. It's like, oh, another modeling photo shoot with Jack Stevens Photography, and it's in some basement somewhere.
Always like, oh, I met this famous photographer, and then the headshots come out, and there's naked headshots.
Yeah. I
what?
was at Sparrow in the mall getting a slice of pizza, and he just came out. He was actually working there, said he was doing research on a project, and would I come shoot for him? And I was like,
girls.
absolutely, and now I'm a model.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.